is Max Access, where Mackenzie Barwell takes you closer to members of Forge FC off the pitch on the Forge Audio Network.
Hi everyone, and welcome to this episode of Max Access. I am your host, Mackenzie Barwell, coming to you on March 7th, 2024. We are just over a month away now until the CPL regular season kicks off, and so does Forge FC's home opener on April 13th against Cavalry FC. Honestly, this entire so-called offseason, I guess, for Forge has gone by quite fast. April 13th is quickly approaching. If you've tuned into some recent episodes on the audio network, you'd know that they've been more informative than anything. So today, I want to take the time to do a little player spotlight and catch up with Forge FC's youngest CONCACAF goal scorer, KJ Tavernier. As some of you probably know, he's been a very big topic of conversation around the Canadian Premier League, but also on the national stage. So we'll take a true Max Access approach to this one. I'll give you some insight regarding his professional career as of late, but also give you a feel for who KJ is off the pitch as a person. So I'll start by giving a little bit of context in case some of you are unfamiliar with KJ's journey. Last year, he signed his first professional contract with Forge FC on a developmental contract. And like many other players on the team, he started that transition into the CPL from League One Ontario playing for Sigma FC. But more recently, KJ just wrapped up his short-term contract with Forge. But as you'd know, if you tuned into that second match against Chivas, he definitely made the most out of the time that contract guaranteed him. Not shortly after, he makes his first appearance with the U20 men's national team, playing in some qualifying matches for the CONCACAF Champions Cup. So I don't want to spoil too much, and I want to let KJ speak on his own experience, so I'll leave it at that. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and I will be back to check in on the audio network next week. KJ, thanks so much for coming back on the audio network.
No problem. Glad to be here again.
Yeah, I gotta say, my first question has to be, how do you feel coming back into this interview relative to the last one we did? I think it was midway through the season.
Yeah, I think we were talking about right before the World Cup, the U17 World Cup.
Yes, yeah.
And I made my debut. Yeah, it's good to be back with a lot more to talk about.
You've had media training, dude.
Yeah. You helped me do that. So.
Let's go. I mean, I hope I could have played a small part in that, because I think most of our conversation was regarding your game day fit. So we started.
Those have definitely improved.
They have. I was actually going to give you credit for that.
Yeah, I made sure not to wear the tracksuits again. The guys in the changing room were letting me have it. They're just like, don't go up to game in tracksuit again.
Game day fit. Better interview skills. You're on the come up.
We're going up.
Come up right now, KJ. Yeah, let's get into it, because you've had quite the month and a half. You just mentioned you got back very recently, and now you've got kind of a week of calm. But can you break down what exactly this past month and a half has been like? Maybe give us the Coles notes for a bit of a timeline here.
Where do I even start?
Yeah, seriously.
The start of the month, just training, getting ready for CONCACAF. Not really sure what was going to happen. Just glad to be around, training with the group, preparing for this type of competition. Getting into the game, we were confident. We knew what we had to do. Me, I was just ready to get in, no matter what. Even if I didn't, I was just staying ready. I got into the game. I just tried to make an impact some type of way, Yep. I got the yellow card, so something. Yeah.
Yeah, you made an impact. We'll get to that later, but keep going.
Continue training, focus on the second leg. Thought we can go there and get something out of that too. Won in that game, didn't go our way, obviously. But to get the goal in that type of stadium, first goal.
In that kind of fashion as well?
Yeah, that type of fashion. It was a reliever to get the first goal out. And what a way to do it for me as well. And leading into the U20s.
Yep.
Getting that call up was also, I had no emotions. I had too many emotions.
Yeah, that's the problem, eh?
Yeah, I had too many emotions.
It's crazy, because I'll interrupt you for a second. I did the research, obviously. I know what this has been like objectively, but hearing you say it out loud, it just feels crazier, because even during so many things unfolded within these games, but then on a larger scale, you had so many things back to back.
Yeah. So after the game, I was just focusing on the U20s. So now I'm thinking about going there, trying to make an impact over there. And then I go over there, first game, get to start, and then first international goal as well. So it's just all coming into play.
Holy moly. And
Yeah.
not to mention your birthday fell somewhere in there, no?
Yeah, my birthday was actually the day after the first game.
No way.
I swear.
Early
So
B-Day present. Let's go.
So for my birthday, I scored the first professional goal and then first international goal. So
Wow, dude.
pretty nice birthday gift, early birthday gifts.
Did you get a chance
And
to celebrate with like your teammates? Did you do anything or not?
yeah, we did like a whole like birthday cake thing in like the hotel and
Oh,
everything.
nice.
Stood up, did a little speech.
Oh, no
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, it was nice though. And then we did like the tunnel and everybody was pouring water.
Okay,
Yeah.
you know what? Okay, so is that just a universal soccer thing?
I'm pretty sure.
I'm sorry if that's a
every
dumb
team does
question. Okay.
No.
I'll be real. When I first came into the club, I was like, wow, this is the craziest ritual that they have for birthday.
I didn't even know about this until I came because I've never done it before. And then when I came, before,
Yeah,
so-
yes, exactly.
Whoa.
Okay, so for the listeners who don't know, I'm referring to the birthday tunnel where all of your teammates will stand on
Yeah.
either side, form a tunnel, and then the thing with Forge is they don't just spray water at you, they throw stuff at you. Like they'll throw like cones and
It gets a little aggressive, but it's all fun.
I
It's all fun
thought,
games.
yeah, see, I thought you may have escaped that, but no, it seems to be the same thing with the national team.
It wasn't as aggressive, but no one was throwing any balls at us. It was just the water and then a little slaps on the way through.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Still fun, though. Totally worth it. I do want to focus on your national team experience for a moment. When exactly did you find out you got the call up? Because the announcement was made to the public not long before that first CONCACAF match.
Yeah, I think was before the second one,
The
right?
second one, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I got the call up after the first game, like a couple days after the first game.
All right.
Yeah, I got that. And I was in my house, just chilling in my bed, and I got the call up, and I'm just like, whoa! And I went to go show my parents, my sister, and then I was pretty happy. And then the next day I come in.
Yeah. What's the process like? Like when you say you got the call up, is it quite literally a phone call, or is it a matter of seeing?
It's an email. They send me an email saying that with a big letter saying I got selected.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, well, cool. Obviously, we know that this isn't the first time that you've worn the Maple Leaf. Last year playing with the U17 team. But overall, what was your first impression, not only playing in Trinidad for those qualifying CONCACAF matches, but with the U20 players?
It's a great group of guys. A lot of skill on that team. You know, a bunch of guys coming from European clubs. A bunch of guys that came from like playing in like OPDL and stuff like that, playing against me, and then branching off to the European clubs, coming back to all come together to play. So it's a good group of guys, a lot of skill. So we're very confident going into that tournament.
Yeah, I was curious to ask, actually. I remember last time you mentioned that you were familiar with a lot of those teammates, having played with them before. So it was a similar situation this time around?
Yeah, it was a little similar. There's a lot of guys from the TFC group, and then the European guys are guys that I've played with before or have heard about before. So it's like, and then there was a couple guys that were just brand new, and I've never really heard about them, but got along with them well.
Yeah, well, it is nice to have that baseline familiarity as well. I would imagine, playing with an older age group, as much as it would be a bit of a shift, having played in the CPL and with Forge and some of your teammates being 10, 12 years older than you, you're kind of used to that physicality and that increased pace of play. So how do you think not only your season with Forge benefited you, but also coming off those CONCACAF matches helped you out going into the qualifiers?
I think it just gave me an extra bit of confidence knowing that I can play at that level or even be comfortable playing with guys that are older than me. So I didn't really go in being nervous like I would usually be when I first started coming to Forge. It just gave me the extra confidence to know that I belong here and I shouldn't be out of place.
Yeah. After that goal, and I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about it. I'm sorry if you're getting sick of it now, but it was really interesting to hear your conversation with KJ talking about you come into the match wanting to make an impact, and you knew that goal was going in. It was just a matter of whether anyone was in the way or not.
Yeah.
Having that certainty and having this newfound confidence this year, how do you feel like that has evolved over the course of the year? Because we're only focusing on a month and a half here, but we know that your progression has been so much larger than that.
Yeah, it's just been a bunch of days on the training ground, just doing the same things, repetitions, in order to be able to make that play in the game. So always doing that in training that same shot, different types of shots in order to prepare myself for every situation. It's just give me that confidence to know that it's going to go in if I hit it right.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to ask about the reaction of your friends and family, but it seems to me that many people have already asked you that. And I know firsthand that it was positive, because I was watching the game live. You score, I texted you immediately, and I'm thinking, this guy's not going to see it tonight. Like, he's going to get buried under 20 other messages that he's getting.
Yeah.
I do want to point out the fact that you really have, built this name for yourself in the Canadian soccer landscape. As I said, over the course of the year, even when I'm doing, quick research for this interview, I Google your name and this whole spiel comes up. What's it like? Like, what's going through your head when you see that kind of thing?
I don't even know. To be honest, it's all like a blur right now. It's a little fresh, so I'm just trying to like get used to all this stuff. Like soak it in right now and then focus up, because we got the season coming up.
Totally.
But it's all been nice,
It's overwhelming, I would imagine.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I don't blame you, because I think looking at that entire thing, it's like, how can you even put your experience right now into words?
I can't.
Yes,
it's
exactly.
Just living in the moment. Yeah. Whatever happens.
Yeah. You talked about coming into another season. Obviously, we know that you just finished up a short-term contract with Forge, so your status for 2024 is unconfirmed. But just more broadly, what can you say about your plans and your goals for this year?
This year, it hasn't really been decided yet, but I'm going in ready to make an impact. If that's the case that I'm willing to do, I'll do it at that for now.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Another thing I wanted to ask regarding the CPL specifically was what some of your biggest takeaways were, because not only did you finish up a season with Forge, but you won a championship with them. So what are you taking away from that year? And also, feel free to reference that transition coming from League One, because I would imagine that would have made an impact as well.
Yeah, playing in League One kind of prepared me, because there's a lot of guys it's a lot of older guys that are trying to make it into the CPL, so it really gave me that preparation before I even got to Forge. And then training at Forge prepared me, gave me that experience of the guys that have been through it. So I was able to prepare myself for any situation that was thrown at me. And then the championship, it's a bunch of guys that have already won it before, so they know what it takes: hard work, dedication, time. So it's just a lot of experience that I gained from the year.
Right. One other thing, we talked about it earlier, your friend / teammate Zane Bruno signed a development contract. We know he's a great guy, but having played with him for as long as you have and now seeing him join Forge, what are you thinking?
He's a great player, a guy that I've known for a while. Finally going to get his chance, show what he needs to do. Hopefully make his debut this season and show everybody else what he can do.
Sweet. All right. KJ, you actually killed it. Compared to our first go-around, I think I'm satisfied.
Yeah, no more short answers, a little longer this time.
Well done, KJ. Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to Max Access on the Forge Audio Network. If you like what you heard, please like, follow, subscribe, comment, and share.